This is just a philosophical question. Hi, Jim with the Rivers Park Foundation. When I hear people talk about applying the business model to a government, I have to ask the question, a business is not charged with the task of providing services for homeless or for the community that do not generate income, but rather use up income.
More than nonprofit.
So how do you fit that in?
Well, the way I look at government is, I don't think it's the government's job to provide services. I think it's the government's job to see that services are provided. And you do that by working with nonprofits. You do that by working with public-private partnerships. And when it makes more sense, you have government. But it needs to be a blend of all. And I agree that maybe saying the city should be run like a business, more like a well-managed nonprofit.
So what is your plan to prevent the homeless from damaging the habitat monitor?
I like the idea of a permanent homeless shelters. I mean, a lot of these people who are out there, I don't think it's compassionate to say, here you go, here's the streets, you have your freedom, good luck. A lot of these people need help. Some are veterans, like we talked about, some have alcohol and drug problems, and we need to help them, and they're doing damage when they're out there. I'm a firm believer that we can bring private, charitable, and government together to try and come up with a solution, and I think permanent shelters in certain areas is where to start.
A question from the audience earlier was to support these services to help the river and things like that. Do you support tax increases at all?
I think with the economic mechanisms we discussed already, I don't think there's a need for tax increase. For businesses and for people like he or she to help streamline processes, support with infrastructure, tax incentives to do that kind of thing, I think it's but citizens who are not getting good value for their dollar now, because they're getting more. I don't think it's a wise thing to do. It's chasing what people who pay taxes a little.
Perfect. Well, I think we have time for one or two more questions. Yes. That's another question.
Can I just do a follow-up?
Sure.
I think it goes without saying.
Think you might not.
I'm sorry. I think it goes without saying that nobody's going to walk in here and say, yeah, I favor tax increases. Right. But the thing is, of course, that there is such a thing as inflation, and without any kind of tax increase of any kind, agencies that are funded at a given level actually have a decreasing funding level due to inflation. I'm just wondering how you address that problem to ensure the same level of per capita funding for things that most people would agree we need, like city parks.
Right. And that's why I like getting off the baseline budgeting system and going to a zero base where you take everything you count at the beginning of the year and establish your budget. And you give people incentives to try and come in with those type of services and under budget. If they do, you give them bonuses and incentive for doing so. Share some of the pie. That's what we do in business. I think it can be done in City Park, but it's going to take some work.
Stephanie, as the last question.
I really just have more of a comment for all three of the candidates. They are. I have a unique position. I'm with Stephanie Gaines with the Watershed Protection Program with the County of San Diego. So I work very closely with the nonprofit organizations, a lot of the organizations here at the table. But I'm also a property owner in D7. So I have a vested interest in D7 in that way. One of the things I heard a lot of really good comments about managed competition, about working collaboratively with unique solutions and nonprofits and things like that. But stormwater and surface water quality is actually regulated, and it's regulated throughout this region. And I didn't hear anything about that regulation and the water quality related to that. In my job as a watershed professional, we deal specifically with the permit and implementing permit regulations. I just want to comment and admonish everybody that's running to maybe bone up on the permit, become familiar with those regulations, because as much good work as the nonprofits are doing together, there's also water quality standards that need to be met. So just that as a comment from that professional standpoint.
I'd like to say I've actually been to your committee.
Matt probably shouldn't.
Oh, that's okay. It was just a comment. Just be aware that there are regulations out there.
Scott, final closing remarks?
Yeah. I hope I answered enough questions for everybody. I hope you guys get an idea of where I'm coming from. As I said, I'm San Diego native. I love San Diego. I think San Diego right now has been controlled by political insiders and community leaders.
No? Oh, that's fun. She's the most knowledgeable.
That's why we don't have much of our hearts.